Hello everyone, welcome back to Gent Watches. Today we will be continuing Ranking of Kings, which does seem to be getting better with each passing episode, so I hope that trend continues. Because right now, I like the show. I don't love the show yet, I'm not yet super invested within the show, but it has seen a steady improvement as the show goes on and as I've been more attached to characters. And sometimes there are certain shows that I attach to easily and other people, you know, don't get it and don't get why I get attached so quickly. And there are other shows that are the opposite, that I take a little bit longer to get exactly what it is that's so great about the show. And other people just get it right away, you know? So this one's more of the latter, right? And there's another show right now that's airing called Shikimori's Not a Cutie. And that show, I know for the first few episodes, I thought, yeah, it's okay. It's like, it's well done, but I still think it's just okay. And in the latest episode, they didn't change anything. Or the latest 2 episodes, I guess, they didn't change anything, but suddenly it clicked for me, and I was like, oh, I get it, and I like it now, and I like all the characters. Suddenly everything worked for me. So sometimes that happens. It just clicks into place at some point, and I don't know why. So I'm thinking Ranking of Kings is going to be one of those things, or it'll just get to the point where it ends, and looking back on it, I'll really like it. I feel like there's not going to be a situation where I dislike this show. This show is very well done from what I've seen so far, and I have really no complaints about it. So right now, Boji has just set off with the Swords Master and another dude on his little journey that the Queen allowed him to go on. So I'm a bit tongue-tied today. I don't know why. Let's hope that I can get more eloquent as the video goes on. But let's jump into my reaction to episode 4 of Ranking of Kings. Oh, flashback. Learning about this boy, who seems pretty cool.
But we will succeed.
He kind of gave up a little bit on Boji originally, but I think he's a good guy. 1,000 push-ups? Bro, I can barely do a few push-ups. I could do maybe, you know, 5 to 10 push-ups and then I get bad.
You will grow stronger in time.
Except if the star thing is true, he won't get stronger. He's not improving at all. He's trying. He's got all the effort, but he's not improving.
Suffering the most in this, and yet, thank you.
Why are they signing to each other? Or are they just practicing?
Your sign language has greatly improved.
Okay, they were practicing sign language.
And do you believe he would be pleased?
How should I know that?
He'd love it. He gets to communicate with another person.
Has everything been going well? We understood.
That's sweet. Oh man, this show's gonna have a lot of wholesome moments, I feel like.
I will keep you safe.
Yes, yes. Good setup. Good setup for a character. Attached. Locked in. I like their relationship. It's very sweet because he clearly wants to be a part of this. You know, he clearly wants to help a lot. Ah. So good. I can't read it.
As the king is to avert such catastrophes as these. Therefore, the order to assassinate Prince Boji was issued.
Yes, as you say.
Done. All that is left is to obtain the strength of King Boss's body.
They're assassinating a child.
Yes, for though you bear the vast potential of youth.
Wow.
How many years has it been now, Apis?
There's a lot of backstory we get in this episode.
What is it that God grants them? That? I couldn't guess.
Huh. Okay. I bet I'm gonna have to rewatch that scene later. Because that seemed very interesting, and I don't know if I fully grasped the ramifications of what they were saying.
Wait, Prince Boji! Prince Boji! Oh no.
That's not Bryce Pappenbrook, is it? He better not be robbed.
Where are you?
Again.
No! Prince Boji!
He's just sleeping. He's okay.
Stopping for a nap, are we? Do you know where it's gone?
I think this is Bryce Pappenbrook. It sounds so much like him.
Don't tell me.
Your apology's not enough.
I'm so terribly sorry.
He was robbed.
Save your excuses. Your mistakes are our responsibility. Please learn your lesson from this lapse in judgment.
Aww.
Do we have anything of
It's okay.
be done and fine?
Good. Good attitude.
Come,
For the most part.
dinner ready.
Tell him what he did wrong and then move on.
Your initial placement will be lower than your predecessors. As of right now, I'd say around 90th place.
90th.
Are you prepared?
How many
for
are
anything
there?
handed down from? We are to enact their will with no hesitation.
Yes, fair enough. I hadn't considered that.
For the most part.
It's fine.
You still need to be a person.
What kind of pressures and responsibilities will you have to bear?
Oh, thank you.
Aww. He's gonna be a great king. Look at that.
The journey gets more dangerous.
He's sharing with the others.
For a while.
He'll share his wealth. Oh.
Prince Boji! Wait,
Everything's intact?
everything is still in here.
Whoa.
But how could this happen?
Kage somehow? Is that possible? Boji. Boji. Oh my gosh. Oh dear. Who we got? Who we got?
Halt, stranger! You dare intrude on me?
Oh my gosh. The charades.
A denizen of the mundane world. And what's more, you seem unable to speak. What brings you to this forest?
It's gotta be tough to animate Boji.
Fastest.
Tough but fun to animate Boji, I think. Ugh. Well, that's a lot of meat. What the heck? What?
As we offer up the flesh of this beast, what we sacrifice is returned to us many times over.
Whoa! So that this world has stuff that just creates life.
I do.
That's actually insane. What's going on now?
This is the dance of reconciliation.
Wow, Boji learned all the moves already. It does look really good.
So tell me, would you let me offer your life as my next sacrifice?
What? What? Well, this turned. Was that for real?
Look, there he is!
Was that for real? Was he actually gonna sacrifice Boji? Because he didn't make chase or anything. Oh my gosh.
Keep alert.
That's disappointing. That looked really good, that meat.
But he's around.
No! Hey!
Must be a mother and her kids.
I guess that's fine. I'll just starve. I mean, if this is the same night as before, he's already eaten a lot of meat. So it's fine.
Bebin.
Oh no.
The gates of hell? But the town seems to be thriving.
It's always at peace, and the monsters never encroach, all thanks to its protectors. The Order of the Underworld. The greatest knights in history.
Ooh.
Hokuto.
This is cool lore.
Sir,
I'm really enjoying the
Prince
world building right
I will
now.
escort you to see the gates of hell directly.
Whoa.
An enormous pillar of flame is released.
Don't. This is a fake out, right? This has to be. No! Is this for real? Is that for real? Is that the assassination order they were talking about earlier in the episode? The assassination of Boji. That's why he was talking about orders? Oh.
Forgive me.
Oh my gosh. Without hesitation, as soon as the magic mirror.
Mother! Brother!
This is very interesting.
After each fall, he rises once more, and with his unfaltering heart, wards off calamity.
Whoa. What a cool dream sequence.
Mirror!
Oh man. Oh man. That's it. Wow. Wow. What a cliffhanger on both sides of the story. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I am impressed. I'm impressed by that episode. I have a few things I want to talk about, but first and foremost, I think the main thing about that episode is that twist with the swordsman pushing Boji into hell, into those fires. Very well done, because they set that up extremely well, I think. Where as soon as it happens, it all clicked in my head and all made sense. And the entire episode, the point of the entire episode made sense. I think I was, the episode was showing, several things that seemed not connected, but I get it now. So it started by setting up the swordsman's backstory and what he means to Boji and what Boji means to him and all of that important stuff to show that, like, the swordsman does care about Boji a lot. Then it showed us that that Daida had called for an assassination on Boji because Boji is a threat to him. Well, to his reputation, I guess. So Boji needs to go. So it set up that there was an assassination attempt, but they hadn't set up whom. And I assumed, and this is what I guess they wanted me to assume, was that the episodes would be about fighting off assassins. So Boji and the Swordsmaster and the Bryce Pappenbrook dude would be fighting off, and I'll have to look up if that's already Bryce Pappenbrook before I keep calling him the Bryce Pappenbrook dude, but they would have to fight off assassins as they come for them, like JoJo style, where in JoJo there's constantly, people coming for them to try to take them out, and every episode they have to fight a new assassin who comes from them. So that's what I expected it to be, But it makes perfect sense that the person that they hired to do the assassination is the person who would be closest to Boji. This is all mildly speculation, by the way. I don't know if they confirmed that it was specifically the assassination, like that's what that was. It could have been he's doing that, he's pushing Boji in for a different reason, and we don't know that yet. But I'm just linking the dots that I have now, so let's just keep going with this. And then, later in the episode, he was having that conversation with Bryce Papenbrook, dude. I'm going to actually straight up look it up right now, because if I keep saying Bryce Papenbrook, dude, and it's not Bryce Papenbrook, then I'm going to be in for a bad time. But they had the whole conversation with him and the Bryce Papenbrook dude about like orders and would you follow orders no matter what they were. And I was saying during that scene, like, we have humanity. Following orders is extremely important because in emergency situations and what have you, you need to follow the chain of command so that everything can get done in an orderly manner. If everyone's making their own decisions, then it's going to be chaos. I understand that much. But with that being said, it is also important for people to not just blindly follow orders. And it seems like, and by the way, I looked up the Bryce Papenbrook thing, but it's kind of hard on phone, so I'm just gonna open it up on my computer. But it's difficult to figure out like what is the like what orders you should follow and what orders you shouldn't. But I think there are some ones that should set off alarm bells in your head, like, I don't know, off the top of my head, assassinating the deaf-mute prince. Like, that should go off in your head is, I should probably not do that. By the way, I just looked it up, and yes, Hokudo is, it's Bryce Papenbrook. Good. Okay, I can keep calling him the Bryce Papenbrook guy, even though I do have his name is Hokudo. So I'm going to write that down just so that I have that. But yeah, I just think they set that up really well because they gave us all the hints that it was him. And on top of that, they had that whole scene of Boji talking to this random old guy to the forest who's talking about making sacrifices. And funnily enough, he ran away from that guy into the safety of the swordsman. Maybe that was the ultimate irony, right? Maybe if he stayed with that guy, he wouldn't have been sacrificed, but he actually ran into the person who was going to sacrifice him. So that's interesting. Okay, next is, well, speaking of that scene, I guess. Interesting that this world seems to have, like, kind of like gods, like known gods. I don't know if that's what you would call them, but there's things that are creating life and you can see them and they're just like amorphous blobs who are just shooting out deer from their mouth. They're sucking in moisture and shooting out deer, or souls, I guess is what they're sucking in. So that's interesting because hunting is in this universe like valid as long as you do it the right way, because you hunt for sustenance, knowing that those souls will be directly used to create more life. So that sort of says a bit about the world and says a bit about people's attitude towards stuff like assassinations, where it's like this is a sacrifice for the greater good, and considering killing animals and eating their meat is a sacrifice for the greater good, provably, because it's directly relating to new life being created. It's like a form of procreation in this universe. So I can see why then people would be more selfish in this universe and would be more likely to accept killing people. I wonder if that's an intended thing or if that's just me drawing lines between dots that aren't supposed to connect, but that's what I'm thinking is a major theme from what I've been picking up. And the rankings, looks like Daida is going to be obsessed with these rankings and is going to try to do anything to get his ranking up. and he's gonna have to come to terms with the fact that, like, he ain't gonna be able to, probably. Maybe, like, the dream seemed to imply that Boji was the person who could do it. Boji's the person who can get the ranking up. But Daida's not gonna accept that help, I don't think. Although it is important that in that dream sequence, he did seem to be, he did seem to care about Boji on some level. Because he didn't seem angry to see Boji, and he seemed hurt when he saw Boji hurt. So I feel like Daida is definitely going to be a tragic case that we're going to come around to love by the end. I feel like maybe he'll be second in command with Boji, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like it's got to end with Boji in King's seat, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe Daida is in the King's seat, but he's got the support of Boji and he becomes a better king because of it. I don't know. And the world building in this episode was solid. I liked it. It's a weird world with a mix of so many different things, but I like it. It all fits weirdly because anything goes, you know? I probably wouldn't be surprised if someone had a jetpack in the next episode. Like, they've put in many different elements from many different things, and it's just interesting. I really like it. I like it a lot. I liked this episode, and as I said at the start of the video, the show's getting better and better. So I think it's gonna grow on me a lot, and I liked this episode. So that was episode 4 of Ranking of Kings. Please make sure to like the video and comment down below if you have anything to add to the discussion, if you want to clarify anything. No spoilers or no hints of upcoming things to come or anything, please. Like, don't tell me like, oh, you're gonna love, if you loved Daida, you're gonna love its backstory in episode 12 or whatever. Like, I don't need to know that. But feel free to join in on the discussion if you think that, you know, my talk on themes or whatever was you know, wrong or spot on or whatever. And please make sure to subscribe, especially in the early days of this channel. Subscribing is going to do a lot for the channel, so please make sure to subscribe so that you can get updates on when the next episode's coming out. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in episode 5. Goodbye.